So, what do you guys know about Sonic Frontiers? It's a game that came out in 2022, a Sonic game. So, let's get into the gameplay. So, the first thing about the gameplay is that it's an open world Sonic game. The first open world Sonic game, actually. For every other game that's doing open world, this is Sonic's first time doing it. So, the main thing you're doing in Sonic Frontiers is you need to collect the emeralds so you can fight the giant titans. How you get emeralds is you collect keys, and you get keys by completing stages and collecting gears. You use the gears to open stages. And you also just find keys around the world. You're fighting little mini enemies, you're just standard enemies. You're fighting little mini bosses that you can just find around the map. You can find all these guys just around the map, and you use them so you can get gears, and they offer gears and keys. And what makes the combat cool is that there's actually new moves you can learn. There's a skill tree. There's a skill tree, I think, for the first time in a Sonic game. All the different moves you can unlock for Sonic are just so fun, and they're flashy. And you get experience points by finding around the map, defeating small enemies and big enemies, and just collecting it as you run around. You're also collecting tokens so you can talk to characters. There's characters like other Sonic characters around that are standing there, and you collect tokens so you can talk to them and view more story segments. Once you collect 6 Chaos Emeralds around the map, you get the 7th one from the last boss, which will unlock after you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds. So that's the gameplay loop. Now, no game is perfect, so let's talk about the negatives. My absolute biggest complaint with Sonic Frontiers is that it is absolutely atrocious looking. It looks atrocious. The popping is so bad, dude. You're Sonic the Hedgehog. You're running around as fast as you can, and you see, like, just right in front of your face, shit just pops in. It's so jarring for a game in the current decade. And it's not even like subtle. There's no like fade effect. It just pops into place. If anyone tells you that you can't notice it, they're lying to you. It's very noticeable. It's such like a thing that like even like a little fade effect would have made it look less fan game like. Sonic fan games are great, but like look less amateur. To go along with the poppin', things aren't very like melded well with the world. It feels like Sonic was dumped into like a Unity engine and assets were placed around, and that's actually what basically it is. There's no platform connecting like the rails, everything's just floating, and it looks really amateur. You could at least like make the platforms look like they belong in that area, and because all the platforms in the game look like they're interchangeable between the world. There's like no unique level themes in Sonic Frontiers. It's just grass 3 times over, and then a desert, and I guess a volcanic area for the third island, and then just back to grass. It's like, I get that the first island was split up between, it was gonna be one big island, but then they split it up into 3 segments because the game is completely rushed. But like levels like Emerald Coast from Sonic Adventure 1 or City Escape, those are like have an identity. And you look around like the worlds in Sonic Frontiers, and it's just like they're just bland and kind of boring. I mean, the game isn't bland and boring to play, but the levels look not very interesting to look at. This part's gonna be a little bit of a nitpick, but there's no like organic loops in the game. Every other Sonic game, so talk about Green Hill for a second. Now bear with me, but like there's a loop in the game, and it looks like it's a part of the ground. Loops in Sonic Frontiers are really only done by rails. It doesn't make it feel like a Sonic world, It feels like this is just a world Sonic is in. And to go along with like the kind of flat level design is like the boosting is pointless, because like it's more, I get why they did it, because it's supposed to be more powerful when you're in a game where it's like straight get to the end, but this isn't like get to the end, and obviously you can't just be tearing through any enemies when it's a combat focused game. So it's basically like a sprint button now. It just kind of feels pointless. Let's talk about Cyberspace. I like playing Cyberspace. I like to speed run them, but most of the time Cyberspace, I get what a lot of people say, they're not very good, because not only is it mostly reused assets, like they reuse assets basically from generations. All the assets are like, here's Green Hill again, here's Chemical Plant again, here's Sky Sanctuary again, and here's the city level. It's like, come on guys, you really can't make any new assets. All you get is Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, like just a bunch of levels are just that. The level designs are also reused. Actually, like there could be entire levels, they're only like a minute or 2 long. They're like reused level design from like Sonic Generations, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, really can't make any new level design, guys. And then like they made some excuse like it's Sonic's memories is going through because it's like a digital world. There's a level taken from Shadow's perspective in Sonic Adventure 2. Now, tell me, Sonic never went through that level. How would he remember it? So I think that's a bullshit excuse. While we're talking about level themes, Green Hill's in it again. I like Green Hill. I like Green Hill as much as the next guy, but god damn it. Use a different fucking level. Green Hill is so overdone, guys. So more on cyberspaces, the controls, they blow chunks, dude. The controls are terrible. So in Sonic Generations, you used to be able to drift. So for the level design that's taken from Generations, you have segments where you can drift. Sonic can't drift in Sonic Frontiers except for like one level. But like, so you're just like hitting the wall, you're like rubbing against the wall, and it doesn't feel intended, you know, because the level designs weren't made for the controls of Sonic Frontiers. Also, just feels like he's really stiff. Like once you're in midair, it's hard to maneuver left and right a lot in cyberspace specifically, but outside of cyberspace, they're actually really good. And I'll get into that later. All right, so the game is completely rushed as hell. It's so rushed. I think they only had like 1.5 to 2 years to make the game, which is crazy because there was a huge hiatus between the last platform the Sonic game and this one. So they only had like a few years to make it. Things are completely rushed. Obviously, I touched on the graphics looking rushed, but also the ending. The ending is completely rushed. Instead of a supersonic boss battle like every other boss fight in the game, it's this like shooting segment, which is actually really annoying because it takes forever. It's just an annoying final boss. The music's great, but it's like, it doesn't feel very Sonic when all I'm doing is shooting in space. And, you know, it doesn't feel like a very climactic ending. And I know that's not like Sonic Team's fault, it's more Sega's fault, but like, it's still a negative in the game. Another thing about the game being really rushed is that the cutscenes are like super duper still. They're not very well animated. They just kind of stand around in place. When Sonic talks to a character or Sage, he's just kind of just sitting in place, and it's just like they're talking and the camera changes perspective sometimes. With ones that are like the in-game cutscenes. Before the 3 updates for Sonic Frontiers, there was really annoying moments in like things that made the game like more annoying. So he has these 2 stats, his top speed and his ring energy, and you have to manually, when you collect little Coco guys, and you give them to this like wise elder Cocos, and then that increases your stats, but you can only do them in increments of 1, and you can collect a lot. You collect a lot in the game, so it's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, you can only do it 1 at a time. It feels like a huge waste of time and a huge oversight in the game. 3rd update in Sonic Frontiers definitely had a lot of people that did not like it. It's probably because it was super duper frustrating. And it kind of still is. They tried to up the difficulty a lot. They gave Sonic this thing called the perfect parry, and it only gives him like half of a second of a parry because people complain like when you block in the base game, you can block basically infinite. I think it's like 15 seconds, which is an insane amount of time to be able to parry something. And then you got the Master King Coco Trials, which is like you have to fight the 3 main bosses in the game, but with only 400 seconds, which seems like a lot, but it's actually not that much time. When you have to have the perfect parry, which is half of a second, you have to parry in these boss fights a lot. Otherwise, you can't progress. So when you keep failing parry, you waste time, and you waste too much time, then you're going to run out of rings. And you can't get more rings than 400. They don't give you any more rings. So, and rings are like 1 second is every ring. So you're wasting a lot of time, and it's really annoying when you get hit and you're wasting more time. I think I beat the last, it took me so many tries. It was so tedious and long. I only had like 18 seconds left defeating the last boss, so it was like really difficult to do. Just the whole DLC, the whole 3rd DLC was really frustrating. The last complaint I have is about redoing character arcs. Specifically Tails, this is more of a nitpick, but like redoing his arc of being independent, and it's like, come on. He did that back in Sonic Adventure. Like he's trying to like distance himself from Sonic. I know like the writer Ian Flynn was trying to fix what Sonic Forces was.
Sonic, help me!
And he was just becoming like a wimp, with his little iPad. I get that he's trying to fix it, but like, can you just write him back to where he was like an independent character? Now he's like, I gotta be more independent, Sonic. So it's like, I don't know. I just found that like redoing his character arc from 20 years ago, it just feels kind of lame.
This whole experience gave me a kind of clarity. When this is all over, I think I need to go it alone for a while. I can't grow into my full potential if I always fall back on you. If that's okay.
You're free to go your own way. I guess you just grew up on me a little faster than I expected.
Now I can actually get into the things that I like about Sonic Frontiers. Thank God. This feels a lot easier for me to talk about. Sonic Frontiers is a game that takes itself seriously, and I really, really appreciate that about it. It felt like it actually really, the writer, Ian Flynn, really respects the characters, because he wrote for the comics. He really respects the characters, and the story is a little more melancholy. So I guess this is like context. Sonic Colors started something really shitty with the Sonic stories, and that they're all really lighthearted, goofy, and it's fine if it's lighthearted, but like when it's taking like stupid jokes, juvenile crap, like Sonic Forces, for example, tries to take itself seriously, but like the tone of the game, it's all about the tone. The tone of the game is still lighthearted, and he's making corny like lines, not even corny one-liners, just corny lines that aren't like cool. But Sonic Frontiers, you know, it feels true to the characters. It's supposed to be like a mysterious tone, kind of like melancholy, because like it's the island's characters, like the aliens from the game in the game story, just like they died. So it's like it's talking about, it's supposed to be more like melodramatic. I really think that Sonic Frontiers story is like really, I respect it a lot. I respect how it treats the characters seriously. It treats Eggman seriously, and it treats like the world seriously. It's not just making a joke here and there. There's barely any jokes in the game actually, which I really like. I like jokes in the game, but not like ones that are like, poopy funny, like, you know, that kind of stuff. But Sonic Frontiers is fun to control. It's goddamn it, it's fun to control. So I talk about the cyberspace controls being bad, but when you're in an open world, those are fun to control because you can fine tune it to what you like, especially with the updates. So you can turn down the deceleration. So one thing I didn't like about the game was like when you jumped, it wasn't a big deal, but when you jumped, like all of his momentum was gone. It just was shot, and you just kind of fell like a rock. But when you turn down the deceleration, you can just go flying. You can jump, and you keep all the speed that you were going with, and it feels so much fun just bouncing around. It's fun to like just be Sonic and maneuver around the open world. Another thing is that goes hand in hand with the controls is that collecting is actually super duper fun in the game. I like collecting all the things. It feels, I guess someone could argue that it's like a checklist, but like you collect everything, and if it's fun to play, then it doesn't really matter if it's a checklist. But because you're Sonic, you can go around, go one place really quickly, and then another place really quickly. And you know, collecting is fun because Sonic is fun, especially when you unlock the spin dash. Oh god, when you do like these challenges that you get like a score on, and you complete them all on every island, you get the spin dash. The spin dash makes things so much fun. You can just go flying. It's crazy. It's just fun to like get a flow going. One thing I really like about some of the collectibles is that you actually don't have to do a lot of the combat in the game. Of course, you still have to fight the bosses, but you could literally get most of the collectibles. I complain about cyberspace, but you don't even have to do cyberspace. You can get all the collectibles in the game through Big's fishing. Yes, Big the Cat is in the game and you get to fish. I love the fishing minigame. It's pretty simple, but it's still super fun. Also, you get like, you can unlock Eggman's voice memos, which he'll tell you about like, he makes cool references to about other parts of Sonic, and he talks about his relationship with Sage, which I'll get into later, but it's like super fun. And the fact that you can like play the whole game fishing is absolutely insane. I like just spending, I get a bunch of tokens. You collect tokens throughout the purple coins throughout the island, and then you you spend them all on Big's fishing, and I just have like 500 purple coins when I go in there. And I just spend like an hour or two fishing. Another really cool thing about Sonic Frontiers is that it has multiple playable characters. So the last time there was multiple playable characters was in Sonic 06. So then after that, it was like Sonic Unleashed, which was just Sonic, and Werehog Sonic. Sonic Colors was just Sonic. Sonic Forces, the avatar doesn't count because it's not really a real character. But it was just Sonic, and Little Sonic, and Generations was just Sonic. Lost World was just Sonic. Boom doesn't count, and it's dog shit. There's so many cool characters in Sonic, and you wish you could play as them, but nope. It's just the Sonic show, which kind of sucked. But at least in Sonic Frontiers, you get to play as Knuckles, Amy, and Tails again, and they all kick ass, except for Knuckles. He's a little annoying to play, but Tails and Amy are especially Amy, so much fun to play. The writing in this game is so good. I love the character interactions so much. The characters aren't just stereotypes, like Knuckles isn't the stupid strong one, Amy's not just the love-crazed ditzy Sonic girl. They actually feel like real characters this time. And then like their bond and how Sonic connects with them feels like real. They all feel like real friends. I really like the way that Sonic interacts with Tails. He feels like a big brother a lot of the time. I think that was really cool. How he's like giving him advice, and even Tails calls him out. And he's like, "When did you learn all this cool advice?" And it's like, "No, I just pick things up along the way." Is basically what he says. Sonic has a way of like making other people have faith, and I think that's really cool. Like in the story, seeing Sage and Eggman bond, it feels like the most wholesome thing ever. It's like getting to see Eggman actually have empathy for someone other than himself. It's great. It feels like he actually cares about his daughter. It's basically his daughter. Her character arc is really cool throughout the game, and I think she's like the MVP of the game. In the original ending, she dies. She sacrifices herself, and Eggman is super sad. That ending is great. That she has to sacrifice herself. But also in the DLC, she gets to live. So that's also a great heartwarming thing. I'm assuming that that's the ending they're going for. She's coming in like Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and like I assume she's going to be in the next mainline game too. Although I'm not sure how they're going to have Eggman be like a dad. The game really respects Sonic lore. A lot of people complain about it, but I love all the references. Like Sonic will say, "This is a thing this reminds me of like the Mystic Lake from like Sonic Adventure," or like, "This reminds me of Angel Island." Yeah, these things happen and they matter. It's great because like in a series that like you can play them interchangeably, it's great to have a story that feels like it validates you for knowing what these things are. Actually, that's part of Tails' growth. He's like, "Oh, Infinite bullied me and I've just been so lame on my iPad all the time." And then Sonic reminds him, "Wait, dude, shut the fuck up actually, because you stopped the bomb in Sonic Adventure and like you actually do cool shit. So stop being so hard on yourself." They talk about things that happened previously, and that feels validating as a fan. Sometimes it's overkill, but it's still really cool to have like cool little neat Easter eggs and references to other games. So now here's the absolute coolest thing about this game: the bosses. Oh my god. Nothing will ever be the right feeling when you boot up the game for the first time and you get to that first Giganto boss, and it's like, holy shit, the music hits your soul and it puts like a shake down your spine.
I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up to the end of me.
Like, what is this? And like the music's just so epic. Yeah, I'll talk about the soundtrack in a second, but the boss music is so cool. Undefeatable, break through it all, and I'm here. The main theme of the game is all kick ass, dude. They're just so epic, and I listen to them all the time. Like, actually, it's like genuinely part of my rotation music. It's crazy, and not just the music that hypes up the bosses. They're just epic. Whole game just feels epic, and the bosses really help contribute to that. So these big, gigantic battles where you get to be supersonic so early in the game. Every boss fight, you're supersonic. You can fly. It's basically the normal combat, but you can fly now, and you get to like just kick the shit out of these guys. It feels so satisfying, so fun. They're a little easy, but you know it's the moment. You're feeling it. You're feeling the hype. He's like doing all these cool tricks and like these poses, man. And he's picking up like Wyvern, the second boss of the game, where it's actually, that one's super cool because you're flying. It's not just in an arena like the other three actually. You're flying across the map, which is awesome. And then like he picks up Wyvern, which is like the snake like looking centipede thing, and he like throws it at a mountain. And then like, oh dude, this great moment. And with one of the Titan fights where it's night and he has this big sword, and Sonic uses Psyloop with the sword, and then he like picks it up and it's like 10,000 times bigger than him, and he just cuts through it like Trunks from Dragon Ball. They also did like they licensed a song for the game called Vandalize, and it's pretty cool, by a band called One OK Rock. I think that was really awesome. And what would any good Sonic game be without a good soundtrack, man? And Sonic Frontiers soundtrack, honestly, is probably in my top 3. It has so much variety. You've got chill ambient tracks for like the island themes. You've got this techno like DJ funk type things where it's like in cyberspace. And those are also fun to listen to. And they've got this cool like rhythm and beat to it. You've got, obviously I mentioned the Titan fights, the epic hardcore rock. I love grunge rock in like Sonic games. It's so awesome. Like, you don't get that anywhere else other than Sonic. If the game looks like a 6 out of 10, but it sounds like a 15 out of 10, you know, that's really cool. And the game plays like a 9 out of 10. It's crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about why this game really matters to me. And it matters to me a lot. So Sonic Frontiers really helped me out of a slump with Sonic. So I got into Sonic. Uh, I played Sonic games before. I played a lot on my DS and stuff, but I never like I was already a Sonic fan, but I didn't really get like a new. Wasn't around to see a new game. So when I was like in middle school, like my 6th grade year, Sonic Mania was coming out. So I was really hyped, and Sonic Forces too. I was really hyped to play those, and I was watching them as they were uh, getting like their build up. You know, obviously Mania provided, and then like the build up for Sonic Forces was really cool, and that was really like that went me from being like a great Sonic fan to like a diehard Sonic fan. Like being there for that moment where new games were like coming out and they looked really exciting. As like Mania got released, I went back, bought all the ones for like the GameCube, anything I could get my hands on, I bought, and then I played a good majority of the backlog actually most of the backlog for Sonic. And so then when Forces came out, you know, I was like my 7th grade year at middle school. I beat it in like 2 days. I got it for Christmas early because I wanted to play it that badly, and I didn't know what to think. So I sat on it and I played it again, and then I sat on it and then I played it again, and not in a good way because I just didn't know how to feel. And it took me a long time to form. The game sucks, monkey dick. It sucks ass. So that kind of turned me off from being a lot of like a Sonic. It wasn't just the game; it was the drought between Sonic Forces in 2017 and Sonic the movie, just the first movie. Like I know that's only like 3 years, but it felt like an eternity, and it turned me off from Sonic. Sonic's my favorite thing ever. So it's like when there's nothing coming out. Yeah, there was Team Sonic Racing, but who gives a fuck about that game? So it's a pretty big drought, and especially there's no games between Sonic Forces and Sonic Frontiers. Literally, like, not counting Team Sonic Racing, there was literally like between 2017 and 2022. It's crazy. There was a huge drought in Sonic games. I guess there was Colors Ultimate in 2021, but it was like, that's a port, and it wasn't even a good port at that. The movie brought me back to being a Sonic fan. I don't want to talk about the movie for too long, but like, it brought me like, oh, I remember like I love Sonic. I just like kind of lost interest after Forces and the gap really, because there just really was there was nothing Sonic related during that time, and it felt like they didn't care anymore. I felt kind of burned by Forces because I was really wanting a great game, and I got horse ass from it. So the first movie was definitely what got me back in, but Sonic Frontiers really like just got me way back into being a Sonic fan. Like now I became like a true diehard through thick and thin now. Absolutely. I guess Sonic Adventure 2 did that for me, but like I'm a true diehard now. No matter what Sonic throws out, I'll be here because Sonic Frontiers was there. It started with the first thing we ever saw of it was a shitty IGN video where they played like ass, and people were really concerned about it, and I was concerned about it because like, wow, this does not look. I heard about an open world Sonic game, and I thought that was going to be cool. That's a great idea. Mario went open world, Zelda was open world, Sonic Frontiers is just a Breath of the Wild clone. Anyway, I was like, yes, open world Sonic game is great. He's fast. You get around really quickly. So then they showed that first IGN video, and it was like, oh my god, these guys play like ass, dude. It's terrible. So we start seeing more about the game. You start seeing the music. You start seeing like more of the gameplay, more of the cutscenes, and it looks more and more exciting. I felt like I was definitely seeing a better version of this game, and a lot of other people too were seeing a lot of this version of this game that looks a lot like a fun to play. And the more trailers we got, the more it looked like it was more fun and the more exciting and more story and like that. So I was starting to get really excited again because my expectations were in check after Forces. If you give your heart to one thing and it turns out to be a disappointment, that can really suck, and that feels like a big burn. So Sonic Frontiers, like it looked like just with the music and everything, just felt like it had a soul. Like there was passion behind it. Forces didn't really have a soul. Like somebody wanted to make it. Somebody wanted to make Sonic Frontiers. Nobody wanted to make Sonic Forces. That felt like a product. Yeah, their efforts did pay off. And you could tell with like the boss fights. So Sonic Generations and the first movie. So like a whole decade. So like 2011 to 2020. Besides Mania, there was literally nothing good coming out. You got the Boom series, which sucks ass. Sonic Forces sucked ass. And it was like Sonic Lost World was mid as fuck. And it's like, what the hell, dude? It's insane that there was like nothing good coming from Sonic, and it felt like bomb after bomb. and then like you get the movie, and then you get Sonic Frontiers comes back swinging, dude, with an actual fun game. It's really cool and it respects Sonic and it's great. It just has that Sonic energy to it. I was so excited to play the game that I waited out, and it came out on a Tuesday. I was absolutely sick, and I felt sick, but I got out of my bed anyway with my brothers to go get. We waited outside of Target till they opened to go get the game, and I picked up the game on Switch, $60, and it was like, and it was so exciting to play that, like a new Sonic game like that, something I was really excited for, and I just remember that it's like a vivid memory. And I like the game so much, I bought it on a PS5 and I bought it on Steam too. And it's like, I bought the game, not at full price each time, of course, but like, I bought the game so many times, it's crazy. Sonic Frontiers feels like it taught me some grit. Because like with Sonic, like how he never gave up with the cyber corruption. And there's this great scene where like Sage is talking to Sonic on like the fourth island, where she's like, why do you keep smiling even though like, how do you stand and keep smiling and when you're struggling? And Sonic's like, he doesn't say anything. He just keeps smiling, but he's still limping. Such a great scene. The music and like the whole game just came out at a time where I was really. I mean, I'm always struggling, but like it came out at a time where it really, I was really struggling to find my own identity and find like keep pushing, because like I was in through a hard time with running, and it was like, man, I needed something to help me get me through. And Sonic Frontiers helped me get me through, and it taught me to keep going. And especially with all the music, dude. Music helped me made me feel powerful. It really came at a time where I felt like I needed that like support from something like Sonic, like that Sonic could give me. Sonic Frontiers means a lot to me now because it honestly like saved Sonic for me. It saved the franchise because it sold really well. It sold like 3.5 million copies, which is the highest selling 3D Sonic game ever. It helped the series a whole lot, but like because it sold so well, we get higher budgets for the games, and we get more open world Sonic games because that's the formula they wanted to go for. Boosting was not working. It was like it created you fly through a level that somebody programmed. It took 2 days to program, and you fly through it in a split second. Obviously, that's a bitch to program. So like having an open world Sonic game is the solution to that, and I'm glad it landed so well because now we not only get successful movies and successful games. Games are improving upon Sonic Frontiers, and it's really cool that they're improving upon what Sonic Frontiers laid out. It feels like the foundation for like it's planted the seed, so now future games now can grow off of it and make a big tree, a big Sonic tree. I really like what this game represents. It represents a turning point for the series where they really got their shit together and they made a kick-ass game. This game kicks ass. It has lots of faults, but god damn it, I love it to death. I love it. I can't give a number rating because like there's things that are wrong with it, obviously, but what is there, and especially after the update to fix everything, it's cool that the game lasted like a whole nother year. They kept putting out updates, and it's cool that the game like kept giving new life. Like most games just die on as soon as they release, but Sonic Frontiers was like the gift that kept on giving. Here's a new update with photo mode. Here's a new like juice box mode. Here's more things. Here's improvements on the game. They're literally improving the game. They got time to improve the game. And that just shows how much they really cared about the game and wanting to improve it. They fixed the story at the end. The story is condensed. It's only these like 5 or 6 characters, but man, like they really get a lot out of it. So it's like, and I can't wait for like what Frontiers 2 will do to improve upon Sonic Frontiers 1. And it just makes me more excited for new Sonic games. Because I think of course, they're always going to still rush Sonic games. Sega does what Sega does, and they're going to push shit out. They'll never learn their lesson after Sonic 06. But like, it just makes me excited that they got their shit together and they're actually going to make fun games from now on. That's all I want is fun games. And Sonic Frontiers definitely provides that. It means the world to me. It means the world. Goodbye.